So one of the things I really loved about this film is that you get to see Doug's extended family, which is good because it tells you more about that character. Thinking of all the characters that you played, if you could go back and see their family to know more about your character, which one would you pick?
Travis Bickle. I'd love to know how did he end up. He's the character that Robert De Niro plays in Taxi Driver. I think one of the most mysterious characters you'll see on screen. I wonder sometimes though, with main characters in films, if you know too much about them, they're not as like, who wants to know who Clint Eastwood's relatives are in Clint Eastwood movies? Nobody, because it's the mystery of the character that's important, you know. So I think it depends, doesn't it?
And one of the things I loved about this film as well is that even though the parents are fighting, they're still they put aside their problems for the good of the family, put aside their problems and their flaws for the good of the family. So thinking of that, what's a problem or flaw that you think that you have that you're grateful for your family to put to one side and still love you in spite of?
I don't think there's any problem any of us got that aren't made better by being in a family. I mean, I think the thing about modern life is it's so fractured, isn't it? You know, we have so many different careers now. It's not like we stay in one town and we do one job for our whole lives. We move around, we have lots of jobs, we have lots of friends, they come and go. And the great thing about family now, it's even more important because those people know you your whole life, you know. I mean, I think, so there's no problem you can have that's not better for having family.
And I love the performances of the kids in this film. I think they're just so natural, which is so great. Thinking of that, what's the most natural performance that you feel that you've given in your career so far?
Well, it's funny, I don't think any of them are very natural. I mean, it's hard to feel it's hard to feel that they're natural when you're being filmed. I mean, in a way, there's moments you think there's moments I think, oh no, that's just awful. I mean, that just looks so unreal and nobody would ever do that. But it's the funniest thing about acting is people then put that down to your quirks of your personality, your character, and if you're lucky, you can get away with it.
I'm curious to know, did you know of the director's work before you signed on to this? Because I know they did Outnumbered, which they're quite popular for. Did you know about that?
I did, very well, yeah. I'm a big fan of Outnumbered, but also Andy and Guy I've known for a long time. Guy's directed me in a film for TV before called Jeffrey Archer The Truth. Andy wrote a lot of sketches for Armstrong Miller, our sketch show on the TV, so I knew them both very well, individually and together, you know.
So you must be very comfortable with their improvisation tactic that they like to use quite often.
I felt comfortable because it was Andy and Guy, and they really know what they're doing, and because of Outnumbered, they really have a good thing going with the kids. So the kids are they're not on screen for very long. I mean, they're not on camera for very long. And that means they don't get tired and irritable and exhausted like kids can do on some movies because the filming hours are long. And in fact, what they do is, because Andy's a brilliant actor, I don't know if he plays lots of characters in Peppa Pig and Holly and the Magic Kingdom and so forth. He's a brilliant actor. What he does is when you're acting, say with Bobby, and the camera's on Bobby, Bobby does all his bits of improvisation. Then he goes off and has a bit of a play. Andy comes in, kneels down, and pretends to be Bobby and does the scene with you. So it's hard not to find it funny as well.
Well, thanks for your time today, sir. I appreciate it. Enjoy your premiere.
Yeah,
thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Nice talking to you.